Welcome back to the Healing Poetic Podcast. I am Keya McClain the Poet, your host, author, speaker, journaling coach, and the hardcore healing pen coach. Before we begin today's conversation, I want to personally invite you to join my private subscriber community, Rise. And I want to thank those that have joined. So happy to have you, because Rise is where we go beyond the public conversation. It's a community for people committed to healing, self-awareness, emotional intelligence, and living authentically. Inside, I share exclusive podcast episodes, guided journaling exercises, reflections, and conversations that allow us to continue this work on a deeper level. Excuse my voice, it's a little hoarse, but the show must go on. If you've been enjoying the Box and the Sky series, I would love for you to join us. Healing is not something we accomplish in a single conversation. It's something we can practice together. Now, let's talk about today's episode. Beyond judgment, beyond labels, beyond limits. Whew. All right. This conversation has been sitting with me for a while because I believe one of the greatest limitations we experience isn't what other people call us. It's what we eventually begin believing about ourselves. I think many of us spend years trying to prove we're not the labels that were assigned to us. Too emotional, too loud, too masculine, too soft, too ambitious, too intimidating, too independent, too much. Or sometimes not enough. And if we're not careful, we spend our lives reacting to labels instead of discovering who we actually are. The first box. From the time we're children, people begin placing us into boxes. Family creates boxes. School creates boxes. Religion creates boxes. Culture creates boxes. Race creates boxes. Gender creates boxes. Even success creates boxes. Before we've had an opportunity to know ourselves, someone has already decided who they think we should become. And somewhere along the way, many of us began performing instead of living. Not because we're fake, but because we've been conditioned to survive inside someone else's expectations. I've learned something over the years. Labels rarely tell the whole story. They're shortcuts, if you will. They're conclusions. They're simplified versions of complex human beings. And while labels can sometimes help us describe experiences, they become dangerous when they become prisons, because once people label you, they often stop being curious about you. And sometimes we stop being curious about ourselves. Now, I want to talk about the weight of judgment in those circumstances, because I also think judgment and labels often travel together. People judge what they don't understand. People judge what challenges their beliefs. People judge what stretches their comfort zones. Sometimes people judge because it protects them from asking deeper questions, because curiosity requires humility. Judgment requires certainty. And certainty often closes doors that curiosity would have opened. I've learned that I don't need to understand everyone to respect their humanity, nor do I need to agree with everyone to honor their right to exist differently than I do. I hold this very tightly to my chest, and I make every effort to practice that on a daily basis, because I interact with so many people and I hear people constantly, whether it's intentional or not, they are constantly making judgments. They're doing it in a passive-aggressive way. They're doing it in a comedic way. They're doing it in all sorts of ways. But I try. I'm not always 100% with this, but I try my hardest to separate myself from making a judgment about someone's decisions, their lifestyle, their belief system, their thought process. Because when it all comes down, none of those things really affect me personally. That is your personal journey, it's your personal decisions, it's your personal autonomy. So when I think about limits, I don't only think about external barriers. I think about internal ones. The beliefs that quietly whisper, I'm too old, I'm too late, I'm not qualified, I'm too different. People won't understand me. I need permission. Those invisible limits often become stronger than anything the outside world could ever place on us. Because once we believe them, we stop trying. Additionally, you will internalize what you've said about yourself so much to the point that when someone makes comments, you will internalize that. You will think that it's about you. You will think that someone is being shady towards you. You will think that someone is coming for you because you've said this to yourself repeatedly. And so surely the negative thoughts, the low self-esteem, all of those things are now ingrained in you. And so you are perceiving and listening with that ear. But this is why I created this series on the box and the sky, because I believe the box represents everything that tries to define us before we've defined ourselves. The labels, the expectations, the projections, the comparisons, the assumptions, the fear. The sky represents something completely different. Possibility, expansion, curiosity, healing, growth, evolution, freedom. The sky doesn't ask permission to expand. It simply does. And I believe that's what healing invites us to do. Not become someone else, become more of who we've always been beneath those labels. Here's what healing has taught me. That I don't need everyone to understand me. I don't need everyone to agree with me. Hell, I don't need most people to agree with me or understand me. I don't need to fit into every room. I do not and I will not shrink myself to make others comfortable. And I certainly don't need to abandon myself just because someone else has already decided who they think I am. The greatest freedom I found is giving myself permission to evolve beyond the labels I inherited. And just because I don't accept those labels, just because I don't care that everyone doesn't agree with me, that everyone doesn't understand me, that everyone doesn't like me, this does not mean that I don't go through stages of emotions with that. When I say I don't care, I don't care. There are times that I truly don't care. Like there's no feeling whatsoever regarding that. And there are times that I care, but I care more about myself. So it's not to say that I'm some cold-hearted, non-caring, non-feeling person, because I am. I'm actually very empathetic. I actually feel deeply. I'm actually a very deep person. I love deeply. I'm loyal. But what I used to say was, I'm loyal to a fault. I don't know why we say these cliches and we don't recognize like we're speaking spells over our lives. Loyal to a fault. Why would I want to be loyal to a fault? I want to be loyal to those that reciprocate. I want to be loyal to those that love me and have loyalty towards me as well. I don't want to be loyal to a fault. And through my healing journey, I have learned to combat some of these labels, some of these cliches that I don't need to repeat anymore. They don't belong to me anymore. I'm not aligned with those. So today, I want to leave you with a question. Who are you? Beyond the judgment, beyond the labels, beyond the limits. Because I have a feeling the answer is much bigger than you've been taught to believe. Much bigger. Listen, if today's conversation resonated with you and you're ready to continue exploring healing, authenticity, emotional intelligence, and self-awareness, I invite you to join me inside my private subscriber community, Rise. Inside Rise, we continue these conversations through exclusive podcast episodes, guided journaling exercises, deeper reflections, and meaningful dialogue with a community committed to growth and authentic living. Healing isn't about becoming someone new. It's about remembering, again, who you were before the world told you who to be. And I want you guys to sit with that for a minute. Sit with who you are right now and start writing out who you wanted to be as a kid at your first memory before you started to be provided with all of these thoughts about who you are, who you should be, who you should become. Write that out. And write that out who you are now. What feels good? What feels light? What feels heavy? What feels easy? What feels hard? I want to thank you for spending this time with me. I appreciate you. Thank you for the new listeners. Thank you for those that have been listening, that have been continuing to support this podcast and the work that I do. I'm Keya McClain the Poet, your hardcore healing pen coach. To support me further, you can go out to my website. It's www.keyascoaching.com, K-E-Y-A-S, coaching.com. You can follow me on Instagram, Hardcore Healing Pen Coach. And then if you'd like to subscribe to my YouTube channel that I haven't been very active on lately, it's Keya McClain the Poet. Listen, we get to decide what our journey and our healing and our joy and our peace and our life looks like. Let's be on this journey together. Protect your peace. Honor your truth. Trust your intuition. And never allow someone else's labels to become your limits. I'll talk to you soon. Peace.